everybody. Chung's just fixing up his calendar right now, and we'll start to read the book very soon.
Okay, here it comes.
Here he comes.
Go now. Trung.
Johnny boy. Mr. Johnny boy. Okay, now let's get started. Now let's get started.
You gotta move a bit more.
You Amber. It's my tie. Just go.
So this is our, I believe, 13th day of us reading books in my life, and my name is Trung. This is Tiến. Mom's off to the side, and I just gotta find where we left off, and then we're good to go. We were around.
No, it wasn't on the other paper.
Oh no, it's this one. There you go.
No, we did.
Collector's items today.
I was.
Next to our house, going west, down up towards town, was the Perry Plaza Motel. I liked the Perrys and their daughter, Tavia, who was a year or two older than I. One day, I was visiting her just after she had gotten a new BB gun. I must have been 9 or 10. She threw a belt on the floor and said if I stepped over it, she'd shoot me. Of course, I did, and she shot me. It was a leg hit, so it could have been worse, and I resolved to becoming a better judge of when someone's bluffing. I remembered something else about the Perry's Motel. It was yellow brick, 2 stories high and 1 room wide, stretching from Park Avenue to Circle Drive. Sometimes people would rent the rooms there, and at other motels and roaming houses around town, for weeks or even months at a time. Once, a middle-aged man did that with the backmost room on the 2nd floor. One day, the police came and took him away. He had been performing abortions there. Until then, I don't think I knew what an abortion was. Farther down Park Avenue was a little barber shop, where Mr. Brizenden cut my hair. About a quarter mile past the barber shop, Park Avenue runs into Ramble Street, which then led south up a hill to my new school, Ramble Elementary. In 4th grade, I started band. The grade school band was composed of students from all the city's elementary schools. The director, George Gray, had a great encouraging way with little kids as we squawked away. I played clarinet for a year or so, then switched to tenor saxophone because the band needed one. A change I would never regret. My most vivid memory of 5th grade is a class discussion about memory in which one of my classmates, Tommy O'Neill, told our teacher, Mrs. Carrie Tianos, he thought he could remember when he was born. I didn't know whether he had a vivid imagination or a loose screw, but I liked him, and he had finally met someone with an even better memory than mine. I adored my 6th grade teacher, Kathleen Steyer. Like a lot of teachers of a generation, she never married and devoted her life to children. She lived into her late 80s with her cousin, who made the same choices. As gentle and kind as she was, Miss Chager believed in tough love. The day before we had a little grade school graduation ceremony, she held me after class. She told me I should be graduating first in my class, title of Donna Standiford. Instead, because my citizenship grades were so low, we might have been calling it deportment by then. I had been dropped to tie for a third. Miss Chacher said, "Billy, when you grow up, you're either going to be a governor or get in a lot of trouble. It all depends on whether you learn when to talk and when to keep quiet. Turns out she was right on both counts.
When I was at
Ramble.
in my interest in reading, Guru and I discovered the Garland Country Public Library, which was downtown near. You checked in
What?
That was still over half a cup in that.
Come on, keep reading.
Which was downtown near the. Wait, can you hold the page? Which is down near the courthouse and not far from Clinton Bullock Company. I would go there for hours browsing among the books and reading lots of them. I was most fascinated by books about Native Americans and read children's biographies of Joe Minnow, the Great Apache, Crazy Horse in
Crazy Horse,
the Lakota Sioux who killed Cluster and routed his troops at Little Bighorn. Chief Joseph of the Nez Pierce, who made a peace with his powerful statement from where the sun now stands. I will fight no more forever, and the great Seminole chief Osceola, who developed a written alphabet for his people. I never lost my interest in Native Americans or my feelings that they had been terribly mistreated.
My last stop on Park Avenue was my first real church. Park Place Baptist Church. Though Mother and Daddy didn't go, except on Easter and sometimes at Christmas, Mother encouraged me to go. And I did. Just about every Sunday. I loved getting dressed up and walking down there. From the time I was about 11 until I graduated from high school, my teacher was A.B., Sonny Jeffries. His son, Bert, was in my class, and we became close friends. Every Sunday for years, we went to Sunday school and church together, always sitting in the back, often in our own world. In 1955, I had absorbed enough of my church's teachings to know that I was a sinner and to want Jesus to save me. So I came down the aisle to the end of Sunday service, professed my faith in Christ, and asked to be baptized. The Reverend Fitzgerald came to the house to talk to Mother and me. Baptists require an informed profession of faith for baptism. They want people to know what they are doing, as opposed to the Methodist infant sprinkling ritual that took Hillary and her brothers out of hell's way. Bert Jeffries and I were baptized together, along with several other people on a Sunday night. The baptismal pool was just above the choir loft. When the curtains were opened, the congregation could see the pastor standing in a white robe, dunking the saved. Just ahead of Bert and me, in the line, was a woman who was visibly afraid of the water. She trembled down the steps into the pool. When the preacher held her nose and dunked her, she went completely rigid. Her right leg jerked straight up in the air and came to rest on the narrow strip of glass that protected the choir loft from splashes. Her heels struck. She couldn't get it off. So when the preacher tried to lift her up, he couldn't bulge her. Since he was looking at her submerged head, he didn't see what had happened. so he just kept joking on her. Finally, when he looked around, figured it out, and took the poor woman's leg down before she drowned, Bert and I were in stitches. I couldn't help thinking that if Jesus had this much of a sense of humour, being a Christian wasn't going to be so tough. And probably we're going to end it today.
Yeah, that's going to be all for today, so we'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Good night.